Now we get underway with our 28th and final race of the weekend. It is DD2 Masters and DD2 the final. Your starting grid is as follows. Once again, it's an all Dutch front row. Martin van Leeuwen and Enzo Bol on the front row. Jakob Bezel and Axel Sarniala. Row 2, Maxim Shurko and Victor Frostbay. Row 3, row 4, Peter Bezel and Maxim Dirix. Lucas Bernot and DD2 Masters Polstead and Nicolas Picot will round out the top 10. Carl Gustav Borgard, Leonardo Baccaglini, Sebastian Schul, Martina Stankiewicz, Nicolas Guillaume, Dennis Thum, Christoph Capitan, David Altlechner, Alexander Scheiblecker and Mats Johan Overhoff round out the top 20. Michael Becker, Edward Matthews, Tomasz Birstins, Igor Mukin, Kamil Kubera, Lucas de Vera, Tony Hogg, Jules Cousin and Patrick Knowles-Lochmelis will complete the 29 runners. No Manuel Tenchat, no Philip Moitzi. So 29 will go around this 1.388 kilometre circuit over the next 14 minutes, plus an additional lap. So Martin van Leeuwen looking to more than likely pick up a perfect score this weekend. Leader after the ranking after heats. The same could be said for Nicolas Picot. Can they both get the clean sweep this weekend? They both led after the ranking after heats. They've won their respective pre-finals. Now there's one more race to go. Who will it be that is triumphant here at this 1,388 metre clockwise directional circuit here at Karting de Fagnes International Raceway here in Marienburg in Belgium? Drivers told to slow. Into the tram lines we go. Revs now start to build. Are we ready? Are we steady? The final race of the weekend gets going right now. Great start by Martin van Leeuwen, but Enzo Bol goes high, wide and handsome round the outside at turn number 1, and he loses out not just second. Is he going to lose out third? There has been a little bit of a collision coming together, and the first driver that is out of the race more than likely with a very, very crumpled and dislodged front fairing, Christophe Capitan from France is out. More than likely, I'm sure that he might park that into the pit lane. Maxime Dirix looks to get up the inside through into turn number 6. I think he might have got past one of the SP Motorsport drivers, whether that's Enzo Bol or either. Well, he hasn't got through quite yet because he's got someone to his inside already. And that was more than likely Martina Stankiewicz in the 533. He's got Axel Sarniala right in front of him. Stankiewicz, if some people might remember his display at the wet in Wackersdorf. Maxime Dirix, you need to keep both hands on the steering wheel. Don't gesticulate. Go for broke and see what transpires. The thing was, Martina Stankiewicz decided, along with 5 other DD2 Masters drivers, in the wet on slicks at Wackersdorf last September in the penultimate heat of their season, and he won like he was driving from Vilnius to Riga, from Vilnius in Lithuania to Riga in Latvia. Oh, now there was one kart that was sounding a bit like an alarm siren. Oh, someone is slowing, and that is coming through into turn number 2. That kart does not sound at all well. Oh, and we've had another drama. And who is that? Is that Tony Hogg? Is that Tony Hogg 509, front bumper out and off the cart. Oh, and there's the 418, Patrick Knowles Lochmellis, right side pod up in the air on the right-hand side. So it's pretty much nearly going against his rib cage. So the driver's still trying to find their way around these tricky conditions here at Counting d'Espagne in Marienburg, as we have 11 minutes and 35 seconds left on the timer still to go. Van Leeuwen still leads, but he's ahead of Jakob Bezel. Enzo Bol rounds out the top three. Victor Frostbay in fourth. Nicolas Picot in fifth and leading in DD2 Masters. But right, there is one cart that is noisier than every other cart that has just gone past the start-finish straight. I'm trying to keep an ear out for it, or which one it is. There are quite a few overtakes happening through as Lucas Pernod struggling to come out of turn number 4. Alexander Scheiblecker completely sideways. So there is one car that is making an absolutely obscene amount of noise. I know that Hans, who's on the start-finish straight, has also more than likely heard it, as has our official photographer Nina. So that noise is quite a bit disconcerting. Something's not going right. So David Outlechner out, Christophe Capitan out, Tony Hogg very much will be out after what I've just seen on his cut. Patrick Knowles Lochmellis has got a side pod right up in the air. That's on the right-hand side. I hope Tony's okay because he looks in a bit of discomfort with the front bumper ripped off. Oh, that's 433. Lucas Pernod, back bumper, left side is scraping. That's what the noise was. So Lucas Pernod is at a touch from behind. So it's the 433 from KR Sport. His bumper is scraping. There we go. I've just seen it. Yeah, bolts are loose on the left-hand side. 3-second penalty going to the 405, Maxime Dirix. So Tony Hogg is out of the race. So Lucas Pernod has got a bumper that is scraping on the left rear. There you can see it. He's just gone through turn 7. I was wondering what the noise was. It was all the plastic being rubbed away, and it makes a hell of a racket as well. As Tomasz Birsins nearly ends up going into the mud, going off of turn number 11 and into 12. Jules Cousin looking up the inside. That's on Mats-Johan Overhoff. They've got Ed Matthews just in front of them. Martin Van Leeuwen still leads, but by 2.2 seconds. Yeah, I thought it might have been. Yeah, it was Lucas Pernod all along. I have never heard a back bumper go loose in the wet and scrape and make an absolutely obscene noise. I thought it was an air raid siren. As Dennis Thom gets a little bit sideways and a bit understeery going through into turn number 6. At the moment, he's currently P12. Martin Stankovic is about 0.6 of a second away from Axel Sarniola. More to the point, he is, at this very moment in time, 1.8 seconds behind Nicolas Picot for the race lead in DD2 Masters. Picot is all the way up into P7. So Nicolas Guillaume looking up the inside. That's on Dennis Thom. That's for 12th position. And now the mechanical black flag is finally out. The mechanical black flag has just gone out for Lucas Pernod. So he's got 3 laps to pull that thing in. Otherwise, he is going to get a black flag and be disqualified from the race. Michael Becker has dropped down a little bit further as well. He's dropped down a few places. Right. Oh, okay. We've got a couple of drivers. Well, one, which is the 422. I've just seen that's had a 5-second time penalty for leaving the corridor with 2 wheels. Now, 422, that is Peter Bezel. I'm not too sure who the other one is. Well, there is a couple of penalties coming through. And it might be due to another class. I'm not 100% sure, but I'm wondering if there is a 429 or a 529. It could be Kubera that might get a 5. So that's total of 10. Michael Becker's parked it now. 6 minutes and 20 seconds. So Lucas Bernot will have seen again. Oh, that's an awful noise. That's an awful noise. Axel Sarniola, in the meantime, has dropped all the way down as well. He's around about 22nd position. Carl Gustav Borgard has just gone through, waiting on a couple of transponders to maybe make their way through as such. Maxim Drix is battling away with Maxim Shurko. That is for position. They're just going through into through out of turn number 7. And there is the 422. Peter Bezel gets through on Nicolas Picot, so Peter Bezel goes up into the top 5. Thomas Birstens, who started down in 23rd, now rounds out the top 16. So Axel Sarniola has parked it. I would imagine very shortly that Lucas Bernot has done exactly the same. So we're coming towards the final 4.5 minutes of this race weekend, plus an additional lap. And what's more, folks, in just 62 days, we head to the final round of the season. Picot now has Sebastian Schul not too far behind. In front of them, they've got Peter Bezel. There's Martina Stankiewicz just coming through out of turn 11 right now as we speak. Picot goes defensive. Wants to keep Sebastian Schul behind him so as to mitigate the fact that Martina Stankiewicz could catch and pass him in the next 4 minutes. And Sebastian Schul is trying his absolute utmost to get through. But Nicolas Picot, I've commentated on him in seniors, DD2, and now masters. And there is a little bit of a distance between himself and Martina Stankiewicz, but Sebastian Schul, did he get through on Nicolas Picot? He did, round the outside of turn 6. Neatly done by the Dane. But Picot had a lead of about 2.6 seconds over Stankiewicz. Shurko going up the inside of Dennis Thum, and Ed Matthews mugs the pair of them. Dennis Thum now looking up the inside. He gets a bump from behind, courtesy of Nicolas Guillaume. Mr. Uno Mas in the 491. He's being followed by Jules Cousin from France in the 451 from Dams Racing Team. Mats Johan Overhoff in the pre-final, having to adjust his steering column. Now rounds out the top 15. Jules Cousin looks up the inside of Nicolas Guillaume, who uses the outside carry of momentum to keep ahead of the 451 from France. And now, oh, that was close. Dennis Thum just went round the out. I cannot believe I've just seen that. Dennis Thum went round the outside of Maxim Shurko and decided to get 3 for the price of 1 coming out of turn 2. He got through on Shurko, he got through on Cousin, and then he got through on Nicolas Guillaume, and they are fighting like 3 petulant children over the last swing in the playground. So far, we have had the following retirements. Altleichner, lap 1. Capitan, lap 1. Tony Hogg, lap 2. Lap 5, Michael Becker. Lap 6, Axel Sarniala. And with his rear bumper flailing loose on the left-hand side, Lucas Pernaut out on lap 7. Now also add Alexander Scheiblecker to that list on lap 8. So the fastest lap of the race, no surprise at all. He's been putting in fastest laps all race long. Martin van Leeuwen from the Netherlands, 1 minute 12.483. Jakob Bezel in second, Enzo Bol third, Victor Frostbay, Peter Bezel, Sebastian Schul, Nicolas Picot, who has got Martinas Stankiewicz within 1.6 seconds of him at this moment. But time is fast, running out as we speak. So the Rotax Roar has been plentiful here this weekend at Karting d'Espagne at Marienburg for the last few days. And with 30 seconds on the timer, our race leader is already making his way down through into turn number 3. Track is starting to slightly dry up a little bit. As we come down to the final couple of seconds of the race weekend, Martin van Leeuwen from the Netherlands, since yesterday afternoon, came in to today with one purpose. I want to be on the top step, and he's going to get that. Maxime Dirks and Ed Matthews battling away over 9th position, as very, very soon our race leader now making his way through into the last couple of corners onto what will be the last 1.388 kilometres of the race weekend here at Karting d'Espagne at Marienburg in Belgium. And what's the lap time from the 4:03? It is a 1 minute 12.387. He's taking a leaf out of the pagebook, the playbook of Max Verstappen, going on the fastest lap with 1 lap to go. Are we going to see that again for this particular final lap of the race? Van Leeuwen through into turn number 4 for the final time and calmly has a 6.1 second advantage. There are yellow flags out on the circuit. Oh, it looks like Maxime Dirks and Edward Matthews, their race has come to an abrupt halt. They are tumbling down the order. The rain has in some way subsided and the dry line starting to show. But the final lap is almost completed. The race weekend almost done and dusted on that front. But even with a wheel on the grass, Martin van Leeuwen has one last corner. He knows he's won it. He's done it again. Van Leeuwen wins and gets the clean sweep here at Marienburg. Winner of the ranking after heats, winner of the pre-final, and what's more, wins the final. Jakob Bezel and Enzo Bol will complete the top 3. Victor Frostbay in 4th, a great showing after the Danes' performance at the B&L Karting Series last weekend. Peter Bezel rounds out the top 5, ahead of Sebastian Schul, Nicolas Picot and Martinas Stankiewicz. Dennis Thum, the top 3 in DD2 Masters, round out the top 9, followed by Jules Cousin, who completes the top 10 overall. Nicolas Guillaume 11th, Maxim Shurko, Mats Johan Overhoff, Tomasz Birstins and Patrick Knowles-Lochmelis complete the top 15. Leonardo Baccaglini 16th, Igor Mukin 17th, Lucas de Vera in 18th. Carl Gustav Borgard will finish 20th, a lap down, as Camille Kubera will very shortly cross the line. Maxime Dirks and Edward Matthews coming together with 1 lap to go out of the race, it looks like, with 1 lap to go, battling over 9th place. Alexander Scheiblecker Lucas Pernod, Axel Sarniala, Michael Becker, Tony Hogg, Christophe Capitan, and David Outlechner retiring from the race. Manuel Tenchert and Philip Moitzi, a non-starter.